Hi everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Amigos Plays the NES Black Box series. Boat here, going through some more of my collection. This week, we're going to take a look at Balloon Fight. Balloon Fight is a game that I really never played growing up as a kid, but I always saw art for it and I thought it looked really cool. So let's take a quick look at the box. This is my boxed copy of Balloon Fight. As you can see, it's a little bit rough. These boxes are hard to come by, especially this is the original hang tab box that was released in the United States. You can always tell early black box releases from later ones because they have this this hang tab here, and they got rid of it because it destroyed the box. You know, when it was hanging up here, it would slowly start to tear away. And so as a result, there aren't a whole lot of hang tab boxes left. I no longer have the instructions for this, but I'll read you a little bit of the back. It says, "Take to the skies, it's Balloon Fight. You'll score lots of points and have loads of fun when you burst enemy balloons and send their parachutes crashing into the sea." So, with that, let's take a look at Balloon Fight. All right. So there are basically two modes here. Well, there's A and B are pretty much the same, just a one-player, two-player variation. We'll take a look at C first. This is the balloon trip mode. And what this is this kind of like a side-scrolling adventure where you are avoiding sparks, and you're flying through the air. Oh, there's a fish down there that will eat you. Now, the balloon trip is a one and done experience. You get one life. Your score constantly goes up, and let me see if I can turn up that music just a little bit more. Your score constantly goes up, and when you collect balloons, of course, it goes up even more. This reminds me of a level in Super Mario Land 2, I think, on the original Game Boy, 6 golden coins, in which in the space, you were in a spacesuit, and you were trying to navigate through various stars that were trying to destroy you, just as these stars are. Now, if you touch a balloon, or if you touch that bubble, time freezes for a moment, but then you're right back into it. And this is just, it's not easy. They set the high score at 25,000, which is what they set the high score at in the normal game too. But this is, in my experience, it's much harder to get something approaching the high score in mode C than mode A or B. Just because of what's involved. However, I don't appear to be doing too bad here. Knock on wood. The freezing of time doesn't really help you too much in those instances because there's only one balloon on the screen at a time. This mode has by far the best music in the game. But all of the Balloon Fight music is pretty good. We'll talk about the music or lack thereof in the other mode in a second. Jeez. There's a 3 bag. Okay, so man, and you know what happened is I just got greedy. So anyway, that is mode C. Now we're going to take a look at the other modes here. So, Mode B is a 2-player game. I am on my own this evening, so we won't be playing that. But Mode A is pretty much the same thing, just a 1-player version. And if you are any kind of fan of classic arcade games, then you'll know that this is very similar to the classic Williams title, Joust. This was released probably a couple years after Joust. I want to say Joust was 82, and this originally appeared on the Nintendo Versus system in 84. came out on the NES, I believe, or the Famicom in '85, and then the NES in North America in '86. So, I find the kind of music to be well, not the music, but the sort of sound effects that are going on once the game starts to be a little bit creepy. But I would have rather had some sort of a tune. But it's not bad, and you do get sort of little musical interludes when you destroy enemies. One thing I like is that the fish is always waiting, and if enemies get too close down there, then you are going to be eaten. So this is the bonus stage. The bonus stage is pretty neat. You're basically collecting these balloons as they fly out of these pipes. I think there's probably 25, I want to say. Let's see how many I can collect here. $17. So, you know, I've already broken the top score in Mode A. My opinion, they should have set the sights a little bit lower in Mode C. In this stage, you know, it's easy to knock, because if you catch these guys while they're pumping up their balloons, they're defenseless, and you can immediately dispatch them. So, and this guy's worth 1,000 or 1,500 just by himself. So I try and knock as many out as I can. I guess maybe the green ones and the yellow ones are a little bit more dangerous. They fly a little bit more aggressively. I find this to be a more interesting game than Joust, although to be fair to Joust, this did come after it. Just having a more variety of level design. I'm also more sure when I make solid contact. You know, with Joust, you were rarely jousting with your opponent in the traditional way. You were mostly just landing on his head. And watch, the fish is, all the fish didn't get him, and I was so busy looking for the fish that I died. But sometimes that fish will come out of the water and just pluck those guys right out of midair. So now we've got the addition of a spark flying around that further complicates things. This guy's going to float into his... There we go. Fish is cool. Alright, now we're at the second bonus stage. Alright, I think I did. Okay, I did exactly the same, I guess. I think I got 17 last time, too. Now we run into a brand new thing, this spinner, which kind of adds more fun to the game. As you can see, you know, I sort of got pinballed in between a couple guys, and it worked out in my favor. I was able to dispatch those guys with almost no trouble. I should have went for the guys on the lower rungs there. Now I've got one balloon burst and another. The balloon motif was, of course, revisited in Super Mario Kart as you play the battle mode and you try and burst the balloons of your opponents without having your balloon bursted. Oops. Oh, yeah. And the game just progresses like so. So, hope you've enjoyed this little look at Balloon Fight. We'll see you next time on another Amigos Plays NES Black Box.